In Chapter 1, you will be introduced to the comfortable reunification therapy process. It will highlight the program's components and go over the timelines and cost. The process of reunification consists of several phases. Engaging and completing each phase is critical for the reunification process to be successful. The different phases of the comfortable reunification program consist of the online reunification therapy program, individual therapy for each person, a reunification therapy process between the parent and child or children, a co-parenting online program. It also includes in-person co-parenting coaching and counseling. Please pause this and take a few minutes to review the reunification timeline. Keep in mind that every case is different, and these are general guidelines for the process. If you have any questions, feel free to ask your assigned coach or counselor. Reunification therapy is a multi-step process, with various professionals performing services. Please pause this and take a few minutes to review the pricing structure, and remember this is a general guideline. Individual cases may vary. If you have any questions, feel free to ask your assigned coach or counselor. As you have seen, reunification therapy is a multi-step process, with various professionals performing services. Reunification counseling usually refers to court-recommended or court-ordered therapy after a high-conflict relationship, separation, or divorce. In reunification therapy, the therapist takes steps to reestablish, or reunite, a relationship between a child and a parent. So why do we need it? Reunification therapy can be an essential component of repairing relationships within a family that has experienced disruption or alienation. It can foster healthy attachment between parents and children and help parents get on the same page for the sake of the children following a high-conflict relationship termination. Okay, so what are the steps? Well, for example, when children are in foster care or one-parent care, they typically have regular, supervised visits with their parents or non-care parent. As parents progress toward their assigned reunification goals, the reunification process begins with unsupervised visits, overnight visits, and weekend visits. During the reunification process, the therapist is in contact with all parties, and their legal representatives, to facilitate a healthy relationship between the co-parents and child or children. One of the major aspects of all healthy relationships is communication. The truth is, nearly everyone can benefit from working with a communication coach. What is communication coaching? A communication coach helps people become better communicators at work and in their personal life. A good coach does this by giving their clients perspective, accountability, by asking good questions, and by providing the building blocks required to be a more effective communicator. Why do we need it? A communication coach helps clients identify and change the habits that get in the way of being heard. Communication coaches help you speak up for yourself, recognize when to choose your words carefully, and how to be ready with a disarming comment when things go wrong. How does it work? A communication coach will meet with a client on a weekly basis for approximately 7 to 10 weeks. During each session, new skills and techniques will be introduced and discussed. Additionally, a session scoring rubric will be completed by the coach, documenting a client's successful completion of content week over week. What will the results be? Communication coaching can be intimidating at first. A great suggestion is to be prepared for every weekly session. As is the case with playing any sport, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Preparation is key. Read any emails that you receive from your coach before the session and make sure you filled out any necessary homework beforehand. The next thing to keep in mind is to have an open mind about the process. Trying a new, healthier way to communicate is better than what has been done in the past. So, whether it's introducing yourself to others or giving your opinion on a topic, becoming a stronger communicator requires you to push the limits of what you think you're capable of. The great news is, this will benefit every relationship in your life. What is individual therapy? Individual therapy is one type of psychotherapy in which a trained professional helps a single individual work through personal issues that they have been facing. It is an effective treatment for a variety of emotional difficulties and mental illnesses. Why do we need it? Individual therapy is useful for many types of situations that cause stress, anger, grief, or conflict. In a comfortable, private setting, an individual and a therapist will explore many different important issues, including, but not limited to, expression of thoughts and emotions, behavior patterns, problem solving, conflict resolution, strengths and weaknesses. How does it work? Individual therapy may be short-term, focusing on immediate issues, or long-term, delving into more complex problems. The number of sessions and the frequency of appointments depends on the individual's situation and the recommendations of the therapist. The exact way in which this therapy is implemented tends to vary depending on the issues, the therapist's preferred techniques, and the needs of the individual. The goals of individual therapy may differ depending on their needs. However, all therapists aim to achieve the following: a strong sense of trust between client and therapist, open and honest communication, understanding the benefits of the client-therapist relationship, utilizing those benefits to understand a client's established thought and behavior patterns, increasing the client's self-awareness of emotions and typical defense mechanisms, fostering a strong internal structure to effectively manage feelings and emotions. Everyone needs help at some point. We all eventually have rough patches, or have to grapple with problems and illness. Individual therapy is one type of therapy that helps us to deal with our most private issues. What is positive parenting? Positive parenting is a technique that fosters good relationships while still enabling the parent to perform the parenting role. Parents who practice positive parenting don't use harsh punishment to correct problematic behavior. Instead, they proactively fulfill their kids' emotional needs through positive interactions, which can prevent a great deal of bad behavior from happening in the first place. Okay, does positive parenting work? Positive parenting essentially encourages parents to catch kids being good and give more positive feedback, instead of always focusing on bad behavior. So, then, what will the results of positive parenting be? Psychological research has discovered that positive parenting can promote children's confidence and provide them with the tools needed to make good choices. It also nurtures their self-esteem, creativity, belief in the future, and the ability to get along with others.